Hi friends, greeting from Anamo Laboratories Private Limited. It's been a long time that our customer service department keep on communicating with me that they have a query from the customers coming X topic or Y topic, and invariably I always ask them what is the lot number of that product which they are having a little query on, and they start getting confused that lot numbers and the lot number of one manufacturing company, second manufacturing company, third manufacturing company is a very unique style. Each one have unique style. So because of this confusion of various companies using various styles of doing the batch numbering of the products, I thought we will take up a small video and try to explain to you, empowering you to understand what lot number really indicate. Whenever you see a box in one side, on the box label or in the side, there is a small little sticker which is mentioning a number of topics: reference number, lot number, manufacturing date, expiry date, and maximum retail price, taxation structure, etc. etc. So let's understand what exactly this information carry. A lot number of this concept in IVD product, that is in vitro diagnostic products, one thing invariably carries is an identification number of that product. It could be a series 001, 0001, which may go up to 9999 in their series of manufacturing, or it could be alphabetical and numerical together A0001, which might go up to A9999, which might subsequently go B001 to 9999, etc. etc. Okay, this is important, but now one thing to understand very clearly is this number specific to that box, or it is specific to the entire lot of hundreds or 200 boxes they have prepared? Normally, this is a lot of 100 or 200 boxes which they have taken up together, and that particular lot carries the same number. Is that clear? Now let's come to the second point. Always that column mentions manufacturing date and expiry date, symbolizing by word MFG or expiry, or they have international symbols of the sandwich, etc. But this manufacturing date and expiry date are represented in DDMMYYYY concept. That means date in two figures, 01, let's say first, and again month 01, that is January, and YYYY, that means 2020. Okay, that could be a presentation, or it could be just MMYYYY. That means 02-20. Okay, that means February 20. Or it could be FEB-20. That is ABC-YY. It's different way of presentation, and all of them are accepted internationally. Only thing is, whatever is the way they have in their protocol described in their QMS system, which I'll come to you later, explain to you. Then next information, test name or a test code. This is invariably mentioned in that. It could be mentioned separately, or sometimes these also become a part of the total identification number. In the end of it, we will take some examples where you come to know about how the product name is considered as, or product code is considered as, one of the identification number. But this information is mentioned in that side of the box. That is test name either in full or in short, but reference code number is always mentioned, which is a unique to that company and the product. Okay, now you see there are a number of reagents in clinical chemistry which are multi-component systems. Reagent 1, reagent 2, reagent 3, reagent 4. In any combination, it could be one reagent also, it could be 4 reagent combination also. That means it's important to understand not that all the reagents will be manufactured on the same time. Reagent 1 could be manufactured 2 months earlier, reagent 2 is manufactured last month, reagent 3 is recent, and putting them, these three put together in one box is done in this month. Okay, so now there is a confusion. What do you consider that as a manufacturing date? Manufacturing date is the date of the first reagent manufacturing, or second, or third, or the box assembly. There's a lot of confusion in this. There are two styles in which people put their entire box number. The style A, in which they put separate series of lot number or identification number for various components, that is R1, R2, R3 separately, and the entire box has a separate series number. Okay, in which it is important that you have a separate series for lots of reagents and separate series for the box. Some companies do not believe in that. They believe that it creates confusion in the customer's mind, that the expiry of reagent 1 is different and reagent 2 is different, reagent 3 is different, final box is altogether different. Now they get inquiry, I don't know what is happening, which expiry you are asking for. So the companies have decided, irrespective of whatever is the lot number of reagent 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 that they have in their internal system of the QC department, but the entire box carries one reagent number, and that reagent number is carried on all reagent 1, 2, 3 altogether. These are two different types of presentation in which these people carry their lot numbers of the product. Okay, both of them have their own benefits and disadvantages. We will not go into the argument on that. Okay, let's go ahead, understand what exactly is the whole thing. Lot number is represented as sometime batch number, sometime lot number, sometime this symbol LOT written in a square, sometime it's a barcode, and below the barcode whatever is written in lines is also written in the alphanumeric way, or sometime it is coming as a QR code which only an instrument's reader can recognize it. Okay, but whatever is the system, all this batch numbering system of their company is always mentioned as standard operating procedure for batch number in their reference is quality management system of ISO 13485. That is the ISO 9000 or ISO 13485 version of 9000, which is dedicated for medical devices. And in their QMS level 1 document, they mention how they do the numbering of the lot number. Okay, this is just to give a brief outline how the numberings are given. Now let us understand in detail a little more about this. Especially when you go for separate series of identification number in the box and the reagent, the confusion happens there. For example, if we take a urea kit, and that too Berthollet type of urea kit, it has an enzyme solution, it has a chromogen solution, it has a standard solution, and now what happens is enzyme also is in two forms, dry powder, that is enzyme powder, and diluent, which is supposed to be mixed well before using it and stable for 1 month or 6 months depending upon the company. Now it's a 4-component system. In 4-component, what happens is component number 1 has a series. Its series could be A001 or series could be 001. The company has a very clear-cut record. 01 means what? Reagent 2, that is diluent. Diluent will have another A001, A002, A003, etc. etc. Now, enzyme has been manufactured in January. Diluent has been manufactured in March. Chromogen has been manufactured in April. Now, each one of these series of that particular reagent will carry their serial number, manufacturing date, whether represented as March 20 or January 20, depending upon the style in which they write. But the entire kit will have a manufacturing date as the date on which all these components have been assembled and put together in a box. If this is done in case June, then it will be carrying a manufacturing date of June 2020. Okay, now you may have an argument that there are components which are of January inside, but yes, that's the truth. There is a component of February also inside, there is a March component also inside. But what is the expiry of the kit? The expiry in such case is the shortest expiry component in the entire box. Whatever is manufactured in January in 18 months expiry comes to June. Okay, that June, maybe kit is manufactured in December, but 6 months later or 1 year, 6 months later, it will be expiring. You may argue it is not having 18 months expiry, but expiry is of the box is governed by the shortest component expiry, which is incorporated into the box. Okay. Now, after referring to this, I'll try to explain few batch numbers, giving them an example to you. Just see this, a component, a kit has an expiry H20170. Now it's interesting to note that H is indicating the month in which this kit has been manufactured. So A for January, B for February, C for March. So H comes for August. So August and year 20. Okay, so this kit has been manufactured in August 20 and its assembly line number or serial number in the assembly was 170. I hope I've been able to explain it to you that each word in the line has a meaning, which is mentioned in the SOP of this particular company's batch number writing protocol. Okay. Some people, instead of writing H and 20 for the year of manufacturing, they will write year of expiry. So it might become H22170. It is their internal procedure. You can always ask them what is each letter indicating. Let's take another example. FR717E440 is a lot number. Okay. Now F is again a month. Okay. A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so 6th month, that is June, and R stands for, this is a reagent number 717. Now this indicates very clearly is there's a multi-component kit whose most active reagent like enzyme or the reagent which governs the principle, like in calcium it is a CPC reagent, etc., etc. So the main component, so F is the month of manufacturing, reagent 717, and serial number 440 is the sequence, the serial number in which this has been assembled. 441 could be separate products, 442 could be a separate product. But E stands for this product is meant for export. I hope I've been able to explain. I'll repeat it again. F is the month of manufacturing, R stands for reagent, 717 is the reagent serial number. E is for export, 440 is the serial number of the entire kit assembly. Okay, let's take another third example. D200808. Now this number is of a blood grouping reagent. D is anti-D reagent. Okay, you know the blood grouping reagent has anti-A reagent, anti-B reagent, anti-D reagent, anti-AB reagent, and anti-Combs sera. Okay, but the D stands for that D is the D reagent, anti-D monoclonal antibody reagent. 20 is the year in which it was manufactured, and 0808 is the serial number of that particular lot. I hope I've been able to explain it to you. This is not standardized internationally. Companies after companies with their own style of presentation, they make their combination, and whatever is their combination, they write as batch number, or they write it as a barcode, or they write it as a QR code, which when the reagent goes into their instrument respective, the instrument has a decoding mechanism in which they read what is the lot number of that particular reagent. And some of the fully auto analyzer even have in their barcode or QR code even the reagent volume which is mentioned into the entire pack, that this bottle once loaded into the instrument carries 100 ml. So number of tests carried out minus 100 minus number of tests carried out, and one point of time the reagent bottle will say now this is empty. Okay, that is a complicated system For semi-automated, this is not applicable. But for fully auto, they use barcode and QR code also. I hope I've been able to explain. And if in case you get confused, have a specific inquiry with any company, you can always ask them. They will refer back to their quality management system, their document ISO 13485, and they will retrieve the information how this batch number is representing each letter, and they'll communicate to you. Thank you very much, friends. If you like this, please subscribe and press bell icon if you want to know more videos whenever we launch. Thank you very much.